So this is by far the longest video I have ever made, and it is still way too short. I thought we were just gonna go over, show a few of the T-bones of my new car, because they are very old school, original, classic car guys, and I want to see what they thought of my heavily modified four-wheel drive Dodge here. And what the day turned into from there just absolutely blew me away and turned into one of the most incredible days I have had in a very long time, and getting to explore one of the coolest properties and canyons and valleys I've ever seen. So I know you don't have time to sit down and watch a probably 2-hour video. This is going to end up being all at once, but watch what you can, come back, watch the rest later. Trust me, there is nothing in this video that you want to miss. It is amazing from beginning to end. So we're here with the T-Bombs, which is the coolest car club in the country, because they drive stuff like this and they actually take it out and use it. And we're going to show them my new car that they haven't seen yet. That's on its way here now, but David got lost, so he's been driving all over the valley out here, and I think he's finally almost here.
A nice day to go for a drive.
I know, he's having a great time. I don't know when he's ever going to show up here, but he's having a blast.
Except for the modified stationary panic he's feeling right now.
Here he comes. There he is. I see him.
That's full of drive. Sure looks like it.
It sure does. It sure is.
Whoa, that fits right in there.
Wow, that sounds like it hurts.
Now there we go. Nice.
All right. Even got Dodge Brothers hubcaps on it. I like it.
Wow. Well, yeah, boy, you can hardly see the differential. It's great.
Yeah.
Did you get lost?
Well, I was looking for a stop sign, and there was no
The stop sign goes the other way, not this
I was
way.
like,
I saw you cruising down
I
there.
went right past it, and I was like, as I kept going, I was like, I think I went too far.
So we spent a lot of time on that, that's for sure.
Still got the flathead 6 on it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh, it's trail rated.
Yeah.
you were right when you said 6.
Yeah.
I'm Dave too.
Nice to meet you.
Wow.
3800.
Open it up.
Well, I don't want to touch it.
You afraid you might get this
It's not
dirty?
shiny though, I'll give you that.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Vortex.
Not shiny is a bonus with this group.
No
Holy
shine means good time.
Wow. They tucked that baby in there too, didn't they?
That is tucked in there. I like that plumber's nightmare.
No. So I thought like, oh, they stuck some black ABS pipe in there.
Is that copper?
That's copper all soldered together, then painted black.
Ah.
Wow.
So when I first saw that, I went like,
AC and everything?
yeah, AC.
Jeez.
Power steering.
Okay, let's see the inside.
Cruise control?
Yeah,
Well, of course.
you could open it.
Wow.
You're right, that's what it is.
Look at that. Whew. That's beautiful. I don't know about the dingleberries, but
Yeah, I'm kind of iffy on the dingleberries myself, but
otherwise that looks really nice. You ready to get dirty?
So what's
Yes.
dingleberries?
Okay, these things right there.
I like the ski rack too.
yeah, and you notice that there's a solid roof here, not a cloth roof like this car should have had.
Boy, they've had
This is a Chevy Tahoe roof skin welded in here.
It looks like something.
wow, they did a nice job on that.
Yeah. Did you get local?
Up by Ellensburg.
Oh, that's local.
Yeah,
Not far on the map.
depends on whose map you're looking at.
Well, yeah.
All you need
If
now
that's
is-
too far, then you go to a globe.
All
Yeah.
you need now is to clean out the back and you're good to go. You get that pipe comes out the back somewhere, slides out, then you got the
Got a wheel lift on it?
Yeah, not yet. That's coming. Yeah, it's a Vortec V6 700 R4 transmission, NP231 transfer case with electric shift on the fly,
Of course.
AC, cruise control, power seats.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Little 31 1050. They got new tires. Going to be here for it today.
holy moly.
Well, yeah, those are pretty worn out.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the rock crawlers want, is half worn out tires?
Yeah, they get way better traction.
This thing can tow the outhouse.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. That's a perfect job for a Dodge.
Hey, My first car was a Dodge Brothers. I got a real soft spot for them.
Well, that's really something, Casey.
So I've been looking for something ever since the first time we came out there. But it's like I wanted something I could bring the family in and they'd be comfortable, because if the girls are comfortable, life is easy.
You gotta train them like we have.
Good luck.
Somebody cut that carpeting out of a casino?
I know. I asked her, like, where did you get that carpet from? Like, why'd you pick that? He goes, that was the most old lady thing we could find.
Well, if that's the case, you got to build a little shelf and get one of those dogs with a bobbin head to put in the
Yeah.
window.
But I was looking for something that, like, the girls would be comfortable. I'm very tall. Model Ts are very small. This thing has room, like room for days in it. Like, we can all fit in it comfortably and go on a road trip.
Does that mean you're going to the Ochocos with us?
Let's do it. I don't know when, but we're doing it.
It's the end of the month. The Wagon Master's right inside there.
Okay, I'm down. You down?
Yeah.
Camping trip?
Sure.
In this?
Sure.
All right, we're doing it. Yeah, this we can all fit in, comfortable. Girls will be comfortable. It's 4-wheel drive, which was a big one.
Yeah.
Like, to find this in
It
4-wheel
might
drive.
go where the Model Ts go.
Yeah, it might.
I Dodge needs 4-wheel drive to follow you guys in a Model T. I seen where you go.
If it doesn't, we can always pull him out.
Yeah, I got a winch too.
Yeah, yank 'em
And I
up.
got yanking ropes. So we're good to
Yeah,
go.
we're golden. Yeah, this is like I could cruise up and down the highway. I'm gonna go do some recovery stuff with it.
I'll bet it.
Well, that's-
Family
that's
cruiser.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Were you able to keep up with traffic today?
Yeah.
Well, that's really something.
12,000 pound. You can pull this.
I don't feel like it needs a 12,000 pound winch on the front, but it's got one.
Hey,
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's trail rated.
Yeah.
I feel much better. I don't need a whole case of beer when I go someplace, but I feel better having it.
That's a perfect analogy for choosing a winch size. Yeah, I figure this would be great. This is a daily drive. Well, you daily drive yours, so that doesn't
This is
count. But
31?
30.
30.
Yeah, daily driver. Cruise up and down the highway. Safe for my daughter to ride in.
Yeah.
Comfortable. I fit in it.
Boy, son went to a lot of work.
Yeah,
didn't
see
they?
this whole winch plate they built in here and how it mounts in?
Yeah, that's and then just staring up here. Wow. No remote though.
Yeah, there is. It's in the back. You plug the remote receiver in, and then it's wireless remote.
Okay. I did that for mine the other day.
Yeah.
Such decadence.
What are the axles on it?
XJ Cherokee.
Wow, some guy did a lot of damn work, didn't they?
Yeah. They did a nice job on
Because I
it.
like taking a chassis and then put a body on top. They did it.
They did it into this chassis and body, so it is the original chassis and body with all the extras put in.
Wow. And then the bumper looks good. No, this is great.
And then, like, how cleanly they did everything inside, like putting that whole dash and cluster in there. All of it works. All the gauge lights work. Everything.
I'm telling you, if you go with this, you're gonna get dirty.
That's the whole point of why I got a 4-wheel drive one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the S10 whole gauge cluster and dash. All of it works. There's all your AC stuff over there. The steering column is out of a Dodge van, so that because they're shorter, so they had more room to work with all the angles in there.
Tilt as well.
Yeah, all tilt, and like your wipers and all that stuff work off of the factory switch on the column.
Wow.
Yeah,
Somebody really did a nice job.
yeah, it's all wired into the factory stuff, and they made all this stuff work. I don't know what that's for, but that's why I'm going to put my flag when I take it out to the sand dunes.
There you go. Tow it there too.
Yeah, that's where we're going to hook up the shackle and yank on the yankum rope with. It's right here.
Little baby shackle.
They have little tiny soft shackles.
Really?
Yep, for like 4-wheelers and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have keychains though.
You know, you saw that the other
No,
day.
no keychains. So, do you approve of my car?
Yes.
Can I come play with you
I
guys?
approve
You
it.
can come play
It's
with
your
us,
car.
but
I think he gets a yes check.
Too nice for me.
My daughter said if it's not a T, you can't bring it, but I think we can probably make an exception.
Okay.
She says, it's supposed to have T. I said, oh, I know, but
He can blast the junipers and sage out of the way, and we'll just follow along.
Yeah.
behind.
Well, this will be the sacrificial one to save yours.
That's the beauty of the T bums. Is you such bums you don't even have to have a T.
We do have a lot of different cars in our group, so.
But you got to wear the hat.
I'll wear a hat.
You got to wear the T-bum hat.
I'll wear whatever hat you want.
You've already
Oh,
got-
really?
I have zero shame. I'll wear whatever you want.
You'll even eat a cow pie.
Yeah.
Yep, you're in.
My wife was very impressed by that move.
Oh, I'll bet she was.
Yeah, you're in.
Okay. I made the cut.
Sort of, kind of, maybe. Huh?
Yeah, it's just-
On probationary status.
Yeah,
you're-
daylight hours only, solo.
Okay.
And,
No, it's bad.
and our standards are low enough to where most people make it.
What was your famous quote from last time we were here? If you can't raise your quality, lower your standards.
And there's some rule that's 8 feet between bottle and throttle or something like that.
Okay.
8 hours.
Whichever one you want to go with.
No, this is very nice.
Yeah. Well. You should have started.
Oh, hey, that's a touchy throttle.
Yeah, you don't have to give it throttle to start. It's fuel
Yeah, I know.
injected. Fires it up at full throttle.
Wow, this is really cool.
Well, it doesn't take much to
Hey, why
get
don't
the
we,
throttle to work.
No, it scoots.
let's zip over to Burns and grab a beer and come back.
I'm down. David will be fine in the driveway. It is roomy back here too.
Oh, it's
We're
really-
both tall, and this is like
This is great.
plenty of room.
Yeah, this is great.
I should sign up for like Uber or Lyft and then go give people rides in this thing.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Alright, floor it.
It's like driving my T.
It's like Tesla.
You want to reach up here for the throttle.
Yeah, don't pull that to try to go faster. It's not going to end well.
That's not mine.
It rides
Well, it
good.
drives nice.
Yeah.
Well, the brakes work.
I like how he waved a minute after the truck went by.
He's ready to wipe. He didn't really want to wait.
Yeah.
How's that for a picture?
Take it out
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the views you got out here are incredible.
We're really lucky.
Yeah.
You know what year the motor is and what it's out of?
94 S10 Blazer.
Ah,
And that's that whole instrument cluster and everything.
oh, your feet are trained.
The back windows roll down too. Just make sure you do the window crank and not the door latch because it's suicide doors.
Yep.
There's old Willie's truck right there.
How's the steer? Good?
Yeah, it steers pretty good considering that looseness in that coupler up there. That. Okay,
Me? Okay. Glad to.
I'll move the seat back. So, well, you got to get out first, then I'll move the seat back.
Okay. What's the combination?
Forward. And
Oh,
it goes the
yeah.
other way. The combination is it
I
opens
got it, yeah.
backwards. If you're pushing on the hinge.
Yeah, this is nice, Casey. He's got lots of leg room.
Yeah. Oh, it's comfortable. Like I drove it 300 miles and was fine at the end of it. Like. Just a little. Yeah, look how even the armrest they did the upholstery on. Like it is comfy. Oh, this is like
Just like uptown.
yeah. I took my daughter for a wife and my wife for a ride, and they both want to ride back here because there's so much room and it's so comfortable. So I'm up there all by myself, me and the dog.
Call that the Queen's position in the back.
Yeah.
You have to wave if you're in the Queen's position.
What's your wife's thing? Okay.
How do you do that wave again?
No, my wife loved it. My daughter thinks it's the greatest thing ever. She dressed up this morning to fit the car.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. I take her to school and she dressed up to match the car.
That is wonderful.
What
kind of mileage do you get with it?
On the way home, I was kind of harping on it, you know, to see what it would do.
New toy, got to play with it.
Yeah, exactly. I got 15.
Been about 4 now.
Yeah, your views are really good out here. Yeah, there was some coolant into the valley on the intake manifold, and when you floor it like you did, it runs off the back onto the exhaust.
Oh, well.
That ain't nothing to worry about.
No. No, as long as you know what it is.
Yeah. Problems are okay if you know about them.
Yeah.
No, very nice.
Very, very nice.
Starting now.
What is that?
Just merging into
Hose clamp?
Heater hose clamp.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a lot. Really loose.
I want to check on this one too while you're here. Because if one clamp's loose, I'm assuming they all are.
It's still
Yeah, that one doesn't fit that. No, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's dripping off this one here, I think.
Well, what happens is when they get hot, the hoses
Hey,
will
Dennis,
shrink
you need a
down. That's why
fender cover?
originally they come with a spring clamp on.
Oh, so it stays the tension on there?
Yeah. Yeah, let me go get a different.
You know, if we park this closer to the shop, you might just fix everything that's wrong with it.
That's what's nice about it.
Oh, you're so professional.
You need one? Dennis has got a whole slew of them in there.
Yeah, I cleaned all that out of that valley, and yeah, it filled back up. But that clamp was loose. This one's loose. So maybe that's our little coolant leak issue we had on the drive home. But also, when you fill it full, it does, like I said, it wants to spit it back out the heater hose till it gets down in like this area. The problem with that is you look in the cap and you can't see any coolant. But if you fill it up to where you see coolant, it just spits it right back out the first time it heats up. Yeah, exactly. So you can't tell, it's like, is it where it wants to be or is it too low?
We'll clean it out again, then we'll see if it
Oh, that one's way loose.
Ooh.
This is like the best NASCAR pit crew ever.
Yeah, we're used to a lot more simpler cars than this.
See if we can get to that. There's one more.
Let's race him. Oh, don't run over Dennis. No oogle horn on this one.
Yeah, that.
Oh, it does.
It's right there.
Oh, it's too late for Dennis. Maybe we'll save someone else. So this car here is Jay's car he built. It's 1928, 29, 26, 30, 32. He said when everybody else was restoring their Model A's, he just took all their spare parts that they were going to scrap, and he built this one from scratch out of them. So it is the Johnny Cash car, like built out of everything, and we're taking it for a drive. Luckily for us, he drew the shift pattern on the floor in a Sharpie. You gotta double clutch it, there's no synchronized transmission. The temperature gauge out front there?
Yeah.
It drives surprisingly good for being built out of scrap parts from other cars. It's okay that the windshield's cracked because I look way over the top of it anyway. Whoa. You gotta want the brakes. Oh, reverse. I got it! I had to look at the drawing on the floor to see where to shift. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's our little get around.
So you built this out of all scrap parts
All bunch of throwaway stuff.
that other people were getting rid of when they built theirs. Was this parking brake?
Should have gone to the dump, but now it's all in one piece.
This is way better.
Yeah.
I like it.
You guys go out to Dave's house.
Hey, old school yankum rope.
Yeah.
You can go out to Dave's house and see some old stuff.
Yeah,
He's got. It'll take you all day to go through it.
I'm down.
Make sure you can keep up.
We're gonna race.
Well, he knows routes you couldn't beat him, I'm sure.
Oh, he's already catch up. I gotta go.
See ya.
See you later. So now we are going over to Dave's house because Dave has a bunch more cool stuff we want to check out and he wants to show us. So he moves, dude. We gotta keep up. Oh, he's going that way. Why is he in the passenger seat now? He's totally on the other side of the car. What is going on?
I don't know.
These dudes are wild.
I don't know when he switched to.
I don't either. I just looked. He was all of a sudden on the other side of the car. What is that thing?
Well, that's a wind generator, and the generator is a bit of Trail of Tears because it's an old time one. And so, fortunately, I made it so it would tilt down and I could just take it off.
Oh. So
Yeah.
you lay it down to fix the
Yeah,
head of work on it and then stand it back up straight.
Now, that end weighs a little bit more when everything's on there, and so you just let it
Oh, so
back
it's
down.
upside down right now.
Yeah. it's
Those are your
upside down.
counterweights.
Everyone thinks it's a trebuchet, but
That's what I was wondering, like if or
Yeah.
something for loading hay or something. That makes sense.
so nothing makes a home more homier than a windmill. And it adds a tremendous amount of drama to our sunsets. I know Claudia didn't know she wanted me to put it up. Now she loves it.
That is cool. And what is
Well,
that actually hooked up
I converted it to turn a drive shaft
instead of a pump?
instead of an up and down.
So you've got
And then I play with the power.
that comes down to the gearbox right there.
Yes.
So this gearbox turns it from that way to that way.
Yes.
And then you've got OSHA approved belts running back here.
Now this is I can run all kinds of stuff off this, and this thing will saw wood.
So this is all fully functional.
Yeah.
So there's a clutch that starts
Now,
it.
I had to do some repair on my a jack shaft, and I've got it in the shop, and I've got it repaired. I just got to get it back up there in place. So right now it's turning absolutely free, which doesn't hurt them. I keep it partly folded, that way it never really faces the wind, but it goes all the time.
Yeah. And then, so it's fully functional. It runs your saws and.
Whatever, yeah, it'll run a feed grinder.
Oh, so with your different pulleys, you can put different stuff out here and run.
different speeds that I might need. And
Look at the stitch. Extensions on the belt.
repairs.
This is cool. Oh, so you put your board there and then you slide this
Yeah,
through.
you slide it in. It
Chop.
drops off. And
So old school, like,
don't get your hand close.
yeah. That is cool.
Yeah.
climb on up there. It's a nice climb up. You feel like you can see the ocean once you're up there in the mountains.
Yeah, I see where there could be some danger up here.
Yeah.
Hey, how come you're not out for a drive? I wasn't kidding.
That's okay.
Go for it. I feel like there's danger here. Your windmill has a little windmill.
Oh, that's our weather station.
This is cool. Yeah, the views up here. Incredible. So if the wind shifts, this isn't going to spin around and get me, is it?
It'd take a real gust of wind to make it turn.
But it's possible, you're saying?
It's possible, but
All right,
it's slow.
let's head down. It's been really windy the last few days.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I want one.
Well, they're out there. You'll notice that hub, that shaft is not centered over the tower. It's about that far to the side.
Oh yeah.
Well, it'll try to come back around against the tail in high winds.
Oh, because the thrust line is off of center.
And the tail will always stay straight to the wind, so they protect themselves. And if you got a high gusty wind, they'll sit there and fold and unfold, fold and unfold.
And kind of regulate its
keep
speed.
themselves out of that high wind.
Huh.
And then you can crank it out of the high wind, like it was partly there.
By bringing the tail over.
And when the tail is right over next to the blades, it sets a brake.
Huh.
So
There's a lot going on up there.
Yeah, and they're all that way. Some of them, if the shaft is in line with the tower, not offset, well, they actually have a tail vane that sticks to the side.
To do that same
A
thing.
second tail vane, and it catches higher winds and it'll fold it.
You know how much I knew about windmills before right now?
Nobody knows about them.
I knew that the wind turned them. That was about the extent of my knowledge.
And that one gets up to about 60 RPM in a
But don't try and take it from
15 mile an hour wind. So that was built in 35, and it came off of a dump.
What's the newest piece of equipment you own? Because I feel...
We have a Tesla.
No, no, no.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
That's our everyday car.
Yeah.
Well, your Model T was your everyday car.
Well, it's got a two-piece crankshaft in it right now.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. No, it kind of put a complete stop to our getting home a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let's go look around some more.
Let's say average age of equipment here.
Oh, well, let's see. Like me, old and gray and only in the way.
Okay, we'll go with that.
So here's a little old-time wind generator, 500 watt, 32 volt.
Wood blade
Yep.
that's been glued back together.
Yes. I'm going to try to use them.
How many volts did you say?
It's 32 volt. All those old wind generators of all voltage, they went 32. But you can run them on 48 volt and they don't care. You can run them on 24 volt, even 12 volt.
Huh.
And they'll just do it. Whatever battery you put it on, that's what it'll do.
Interesting.
There's no regulators. They just have a third brush in there, and that
Just kind of does whatever it needs to
third
do.
brush, it powers the field windings. So
I don't know what that means.
generators, neat stuff.
Okay.
So here's an early pickup.
Oh wow. What year is this?
This one Henry Ford never made, but he should have. And what it is, it's the car chassis with the truck cab put on it. Because the truck was a longer frame, longer.
So this is this Model T chassis.
Car chassis.
Yeah.
And it's got a Model A engine. Now Henry Ford wouldn't want to do that. But
Does it have Model A like transmission where it's a standard
I
clutch?
bolted the Model T transmission to the Model A engine, so it's
So
got
it's still got the band,
Yeah,
2-speed.
3 pedals and all that.
Yeah. but with a Model A engine.
So instead of 20 horse, it has 40. But the 40 horse A engine doesn't feel like it's twice the power of a T engine. It just, you get Model A guys driving with T's and they'll say, man, you guys really get around good. And we do.
I love the old lights.
So Dennis Prince calls this the inbred.
How many different names does he have for stuff? And
Oh, the more the better.
there's another one driving by over there. Is that Jim showing up? There's an old car driving outside in your yard.
I'll bet that's Jim.
Okay, I just saw an old car go by. But that's not surprising out here. It's just something that happens.
Yeah. So this is one I built when I was in high school. And I and two of my high school buddies drove this clear to the state of Maine.
Really?
And then down to Florida one summer and home. That was in '77. So we did C to C in a Model T.
You guys are so much cooler than us.
And the old girl's still a going, but it's got an extra piece, and that's the other half of the crankshaft.
Mm-hmm.
And it did that just a week ago. But see, I got more crankshafts.
Yeah, ready to drop right in.
So they're not much more than a bent piece of hay wire. So
Okay, we'll go with that. What's the difference with the ones with the gears and without?
they just don't have the gears on them. They're just, somebody took them off.
Okay. It was Jim.
What are you guys looking at now?
I climbed to the top of the windmill.
Did you?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, this is a motorcycle. Oh. Wait, so this is pedal off of this chain off that side and engine off of this chain off this side.
You can get online. $140 for all of that.
Really?
I would guess a gas tank would cost you that, but then you got the whole engine and really poor instructions and an extra chain and sprocket and everything you needed. And you kick it over and it just starts up and sits there.
That's way cooler than an e-bike.
Yeah.
You're giving me so many ideas.
And here's a neat old bike. This is the man cave.
Mm-hmm.
This is also, we have jammers around here, jam music, and this is where we jam.
Oh, the propeller engine up there. David, this is what phones used to look like. You know, like the symbol, the phone symbol, like on your phone?
Yeah.
Like, my daughter asked me, like, why is the phone symbol shaped like that? Because that's not what phones look like anymore. It's not even this one. It's like the, like, headset one. Yeah. And she goes, why is...
we grew up with.
Yeah, she's like, why does the phone symbol look like that? She asked, so what's that mean? I go, phone. She goes, why does that mean phone? Because that's a phone. She's like, no, it's not. Yeah. But this is the original. There goes those planes out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is cool to have those guys flying over.
That's pretty regular.
What is this here, little?
Homemade steam engines.
Oh, these are steam engines?
Yeah.
Oh, so you pressurize here.
Yes.
Is that to get it started, or is it run off of
For running on air, I just run them off my air pressure. You want to see
It just dawned on me right now that steam engines run on air pressure, so you could run them off compressed air just the same?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that just clicked in my head right now.
Casey, you're safe here with us.
Yeah.
You're safe in the shadow of our protection.
I'd never put that together before.
Such a sweet thing to say.
Yeah.
They'll drag my air hose over.
So, throttle. Jim, there's way too much cool stuff here.
I figured you'd like it.
Yes, you were 100% right.
You haven't been outside yet.
No, we've made it, like, see where we're parked right there?
Yeah.
We've made it from there to the windmill to here.
Okay, yeah, you got a ways to go yet. Hope you got all day.
I got all the time in the world for this stuff. So, I get air pressure goes in, pushes piston out. Is there a valve that switches it side to
This
side?
is the valve and that's the piston. the valve actuates.
Oh.
So it goes this one and back this one, and then it shifts and sends it in this one, and then it exhausts out.
So this is the piston that's driving back
Yeah.
and forth, and this is cranking it.
Yep.
This one here is the valve switching the airflow back and
Yes.
forth. Got it. So on this one, this is the valve.
Yes.
This is the piston that's actually driving it. And this valve is switching between that line and that line to go forward and backward, which cranks it.
You're hired.
All right. When's payday? Okay. That is so
This
cool.
got a lot of torque, and you open it up.
That is very cool. I never put together that steam is compressed air. They're running off compressed air, not steam. Steam is just the way of making the compressed air to run them.
Yeah, but you run out of air really quick.
Yes.
I'm surprised it hadn't started pumping and run us out of here.
Yeah.
Where steam, you know, it expands 600 times.
Yeah. But steam is just how they made the compressed air to run them.
Yep.
So you can run them, if you have a compressed air supply, it runs just the same. It never dawned on me. So yeah, that'd be supply, valve, control. I get it now.
So start building, Casey.
All right, I get it. Supply line goes in, valve controls which direction it comes out of, pushes the ram this way, which pushes that way, and then it makes the switch. Air comes out, it closes. So when it closes this, does it exhaust out of here? And
Yeah.
then,
So the piston inside the valve is 2 pistons. But
okay,
you got to have a center space that moves from this port to over to this port.
oh, because it needs an in-between
Yeah.
where you're at that breakover point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then once it passes that in-between and you're broke over your center line, then it can send air to this side, which will pull this back.
And that's one thing with these steam engines. If they're dead center, they won't go. You have to keep
Yeah.
them off center a little.
So that's why you turn this a little bit
That's
before
why I
you...
turned that a little. And guys that ran steam engines in the good old days, they could really show their abilities by never getting it stopped at dead center.
So I guess on a
Always make
big,
sure.
like on a big tractor,
Great big, you know,
train or something like
yeah.
that, yeah, you're not just gonna go...
Well, now train, you got 2 of them and they're offset, so one's always not dead center.
So they're not 180 offset, they're like 90 or something, so that... Because if they're 180 offset, you can still be dead
Well, you
center.
can still do it, yeah.
Yeah.
So they must not be 180.
They must be like a 90 off or
yeah.
something so that one can always start the other.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you wouldn't be able to just do that.
Now, okay, passengers off the
Yeah.
train. We gotta put.
Let's get a pry bar. Let's push start the train. Look at the old pipe here. Corncob pipe.
Yeah, I had a good parade and it was parked and I got in the car and there that thing was. Somebody stuck it in there.
And it's still there all these years later?
Yeah, and that clamp, my granddad always mounted in his Model Ts to hold shipping documents and important papers. That's where he'd clip them in. And I fortunately ended up with that old heirloom.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's a Mack truck on
Oh, it is. That is really cool. So he was a truck driver or?
No, just a farmer down here in the
Oh.
down here in the canyon.
Oh, but to ship stuff out and all that. Like that was where he kept all his paperwork?
Yeah. And this, I put this together as parts in high school and I got that. A lot of these body parts came from the res over here. And I got that and right in the center up there was a hole that had been punched through. And I thought, because he always traded his cars in and a lot of times they'd go to the res as used cars. And I thought, I wonder if Grandpa bought this cowling on a car he had, put that hole in there, and that thing used to be mounted on there way back.
So it was the perfect hole to fit that?
It was perfect, and it's where I always put it, was right there.
Huh. Probably.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Full circle. You got this piece back after all those years.
When he bought his first Ford, there was a Ford dealer in Madras, but no inventory. And it was in 1915. And so the two of them, dealer and his the car he kept. The two of them drove to the Dalles, stayed overnight, and then they went down to a dealership in the Dalles that had an inventory, and Gramps picked out his car, and then he drove it back because he knew how to drive now on the way over. And the dealer drove back the demonstrator. And then a couple of years after that, there was enough cars selling, they actually started keeping an inventory of Fords here in Madras.
What is this knob here?
That is a combination, push it for the horn and twist it for the lights.
Oh, it's a early multifunction switch.
Yes.
Just like today.
Yep.
When I was driving your Model A back, as I went to go pull back in, I almost reached up and turned on the blinker, and I'm like, "This is not a blinker on these. Like, don't do that." Like, I caught myself.
Use this one.
Yeah, I caught myself before I grabbed it and pulled down. Like, we'd have been coasting in with no engine if I did that.
Spark Advance.
Yeah. So this is Spark Advance. This is fuel mixture, right?
On both A and T.
They're the same for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have shut us down real quick.
Then this has got the little 2-speed rear end. They call them Ruxtol axles.
Yep.
And when I and my two buddies drove this clear to Maine and down to Florida, we didn't even know Ruxtols existed at that time. So that whole trip was just low and high the way Henry made it.
Yeah, 2 speeds.
Just low and high, and they did fine.
How long did that trip take?
2.5 months. Yeah, we're all young and camped out
in
every
one of
night.
Or in this car.
This car,
Yeah.
this very one, and it's still going. It's looking pretty rugged, but actually it kind of looks better all the time.
I think so. So this is the early one because it's still got the fuel tank is back here, right?
Under the seat,
Under
yep.
the seat, not up here. And those are the ones, if you go up a hill with half a tank of fuel, you run out and then coast back down the hill.
We back them up. Or back
Yeah, and I've had to back up the old grade down here. It's two miles long. I've had to back that whole thing. We'll go down there. We'll drive down it.
Yeah, we'll go down there.
And I'd take you in this, but it's, you know, the problem.
I brought mine. We'll take care.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then, yeah, I've had to back mine up the Pelton grade. That's really steep anyway.
So you back down, you turn around and go up backwards so that your fuel goes into the engine.
Yeah, it's not much fun.
If you got a half a tank, you can go up pretty steep hills. It's when you start getting down to like a quarter tank, then you get on a steep dirt road, which T's like best is dirt tracks with something growing between the tracks. That's where T's shown.
Like slot car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A CCIWB Getter Done garden tractor, and this one was built just.
Say that again, that's your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. Have you watched some of it?
Yes.
Good on you.
I'm going to put a link down here to Dave's YouTube channel where he goes and messes with all this stuff and gets things running and all that.
It's called a shout out or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody said,
Yeah.
"No, I'm going to shout out your channel." Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it is cool. Like if you like watching like old stuff run and the old popper motors
Yes.
and the old farming equipment, like it is really cool. I'll put that right there and then there'll be a link to it even farther down in the description. But I don't even know.
But this one was just for cultivating. So it's got all the cultivator things down there.
And your feet ride on the cultivator part?
Yeah. And then you can lift them and raise them up and set them down with this. And this is the clutch that makes it go.
Oh, and it just all it does is pull the belt tight.
Yeah, it just tightens the belt. And
Steering is this. What's this? This is your steering lock or your lockout?
yeah, to keep it from, I put these on there so it wouldn't go too far.
Oh, because you'll over center your steering.
Yeah. And they were built by a company here in Central Oregon. In fact, I think it was right here in Madras, called CCIWB, and they called them Gitterduns, and they gave them a name, and this one's called Miss Sweet Corn, because it was made to cultivate corn.
This thing is amazing. Like this is a work of art. Like all like, and when was this built, you think?
Last century sometime.
But like to build like all the chain here off of it, like to build this back then is just incredible to me. I like the rubber tires.
Your hook.
That ain't half
I am
the story.
completely.
Like this. Casey?
Yeah.
They never made one like this.
So climb on up there. I want to get a picture of them. That looks good. That's you.
It says 1.5 horsepower at 500 RPM.
Yes.
Is this your transmission?
Yep.
Clutch. I like your clutch stop too. And this is up and down?
Yeah.
Oh, here's.
It's stuck. I haven't, well, that one works, but that real long one is stuck. I haven't gotten it freed up yet. And it uses a Model T coil for ignition right in here. You put a battery in there. And this had gotten smashed, but I got it kind of put back now.
Is this what's holding this on here? This
Yes.
sprocket?
Yep. And this is a Model T Fellow, 21-inch.
How long did it take you to assemble this?
He finally figured it out, huh?
Yes, yeah.
This is a horse-pulled cultivator, so I took the tongue off, put a steering on the front, added these on, put this little differential in here, mounted the motor, because there was a tractor that was built for cultivating that looked a lot like this. I have a book of all the tractors built in the U.S., and one of them looked like this, and I thought, I want one of those, but so I got to build it if I do.
So you built this?
Yes, and these are the original wheels.
I like how you can adjust the spring tension here at 2 different spots.
Yes. It's amazing the amount of stuff in here that moves and
Yeah.
shifts these cultivators. It'll lift them up and down.
You
and
got to oil it
sideways.
as you go?
Oh, I just keep it handy. Here's the oiler for the engine. You open this up and
And then when it starts dripping
you can
down?
watch it drip. And 1 drip per minute, something like that.
1 drip per
Water
minute.
for cooling.
It's a popper motor?
Yeah, it is a true hit and miss, this one.
Christmas decoration. This is the coolest tractor ever.
Start building, man. I got extra parts if you want them.
Yeah, I see that.
You got to have a place to keep lots of, so you can just go out and pick what you need and never have to run to town.
4x4 seat post back here. This is so cool.
Well, come look at another
Like I said, this is a work of art.
This is number 8.
Number 8?
We have the only ones they know of that exist from that
Why?
company.
Yeah.
And CCIWB, we found out, stands for Campbell Creek Iron Works and Brewery.
And brewery.
Brewery.
The important part.
So this one is kind of an experimental. It's friction drive.
Well, you got the arrow so you can tell which way you're going.
Well, you can't see the front wheel.
Oh, so that's why this is here.
So even in the olden days, they did that. They put a arrow on when you couldn't see what, because sometimes you could have the wheel to the side and you'd be pushing it sideways.
Oh, because you're pulling with it, so it's trying to drag you straight.
Yeah, so you had to have that arrow to know.
There's a hand crank here.
Show them how the friction works. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. This you move it forward and backward with that.
Oh, wow. So
And-
this is like a CVT transmission. You go over here, you're
Low gear.
low geared or higher geared.
Lower.
Wait, well, this is the spinning part, so that'd
Yeah.
be lower gear. As you come back,
It picks up speed.
And then they go
And
past
then
center and
neutral and then reverse is over here.
neutral. That is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen.
And early
The original CVT transmission.
Well, International had friction drive on the very first tractors they built in the late 1800s. Friction. And there were companies that built friction drive tractors clear up into the 20s. So they had to have worked pretty good.
Yeah, that is cool. I would have never thought that's that simple. Yeah,
And
neutral.
then this tightens it up against the flywheel.
Oh, got it. So now we're locked in.
Yeah.
So you loosen it up to adjust your speed, your gearing.
Well, while
and then-
it's spinning, you can adjust it as you.
oh, because it's moving, so
Yeah.
you can go across it. Yeah.
They thought of everything.
This is. And I love the arrow on the front. And is this an oil burning lamp?
Yeah. Well, you see, if you got your gardening done at night, you'd get her done. That's why they called them get her dones. You bought one, by golly, you'd get her done.
There's a lot of getting her done around here. So is that a mill there?
A fanning mill. You put your dirty grain in here, you've got chaff and stuff, and you spin it off. Well, this here is where you provide power, and it spins and
Oh, so there's a shaker table here.
It's got a fan down
Yeah.
below.
Oh, so you got an oblong piece here. It makes it. Look at this here. This is off center, so it spins. It's a shaker table. Oh, and look at this piece right here. That's what's
Oh,
pulls
the
it in.
anti-bridging device.
Yeah. And then the
you
fan.
have screens, 2 screens go in this. One goes on top, one down below.
And the fan blows the junk out.
Light stuff out.
And I'm kind of fond of these funky old things. So
No, I would have never ever
fix them up
guessed.
even though I don't need to.
Is that the clipper?
Yeah, the clipper cleaner. And it's a 2B special because it comes with an elevator. So you don't have to get down there and shovel the grain out and put it in a sack. You can sack it right here. 1 sack here, 1 sack here, and
Oh, okay, this is 2.
and
2 outputs.
it's got a valve.
Oh, so you can divert it back. So you can be
Yeah.
filling this one, flip to
Tie
the other
this one up.
sack, and never stop the machine.
Yeah, put another empty sack here, and when this one's full, you flip it over to this one, and
Full production, never
full
stop.
production, yeah. And they crank through it pretty fast, these things.
That looks like the Tin Man.
Okay, this is a 2-stroke light tillage getter done. Very light tillage. Mainly for belt work. It's got a belt pulley and it's screen cooled. And that's, a lot of tractor companies did that. It's got a water pump and it pumps it up here and the water runs down over the screen, exposing it to the air. You get evaporative cooling. And you gotta put makeup water in pretty often, but it'll cool just like a radiator. And they call them screen cooled.
I have never heard of anything like that. And this got drained on it for draining it out.
Yes. 2-stroke engine, 2.5 horse engine on this.
They're running at a higher speed, Dave.
What's that?
They're running at a higher speed.
Well, not much. It's a pretty slow speed engine.
So, what's the spring here? Is this like your...
Well, this is the timer for timing the spark. And so you
Oh, and you got
push
these
that up
little
and-
nuts here to lock
yeah, there's
into.
little- well, you can do it with it down too. Here, detenting.
Yeah.
Because you can run this either direction just by where you have the timing.
The weights down here. So you can steer.
Yeah, so much power, it just keeps it from wheeling over.
And I love your steering stops in all of these. And here's another arrow.
Yeah, this is the Meadow Maiden. You go out in the meadow and you cut hay. So this is the Meadow Maiden. 3-horse engine. It's got a belt pulley so you can do belt work. Makes them universal tractors.
Oh, so you can use that as a tractor actually doing something, cutting, pulling, or pull up to something, put your belt on and run something off the
Run
belt.
a clipper like this off a flat belt.
Oh, so you hook this. This is what runs this.
Yeah. Well, that takes very little. I got one tractor down here. It's perfect for running that. It's got a 1/2-horse engine on it. Perfect for running clipper cleaners.
Is this
That's
is a grinder, right?
That's an oat roller.
Roller.
Because rolled oats, they just smash them and it makes them they're better for digestion.
So I was on the right track.
Yes, you were.
Okay.
Yes, you were.
I'm super proud of myself for that.
So it'll roll your oats.
Roll your oats.
Yep, it'll roll your oats.
Okay, I got it now.
And it's got all of its original paint.
This woodwork here is... That's incredible. This whole thing is wood. So you put up here, oh, here's your belt to run it. So you
Yeah.
pull up a tractor, pull your belt out, hook up, comes down. Does this have a shaker too?
Yeah, it'll screen off big chunks that you don't want.
And then that comes out here and drops off.
Like, I don't know, birds and dead things maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know what.
And then the rest drops down, gets rolled through here.
And goes through 2 rollers that are tight against each other.
hmm
And it just smashes them.
And then brings them up out here.
Yeah, and it's got a valve for.
It's dual output as well, so you just constant production. And drawbar in front. This stuff is so cool. Is that a birdhouse or a tractor?
Oh, this is a kid's tractor.
Hold on, let me find my way out of
Bring
here.
your daughter over and she can drive this.
Oh, she will.
And it's got a pulley for doing belt work too.
Where you're gonna build it? You said you wanted to build a tractor that you can make it all out of wood.
Well, yeah, I wanted to build one that anybody could go to Ace Hardware and get everything except a motor. But it's all plumbing parts for the axles. It's Ace Hardware pulleys. And then you'd have to go to Home Depot or something to get your plywood. But there's only a 10-foot piece of 2x4 in this and a half a piece of plywood.
They made all of this.
Yeah.
This is...
Let's see how much gas it's got.
This runs.
Well, of course it runs. They all run. 1 horsepower. Oh, it's got gas.
I see the theme here of the instructions in Sharpie
Oh, yeah.
on your stuff.
You gonna push it out?
I'm helping.
Thinking it's going to run, so usually he shows somebody something and that's what he does.
Look at the steering when they use a chain.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I don't know what's happening here, but I love it.
Keep tools with everything.
Oh, so you watch the bowl here, it fills up with the gas?
Yeah.
Is it?
And then a little choke.
One pull. First pull.
Cold-blooded. Yeah, I'm impressed. Maybe that was...
No, you're supposed to say, yeah, of course it did. Board.
That's what Casey sits on.
Oh, the booster seat?
Oh, yeah. They really need it. So you just push the cabin forward. Like that. Oh, we're in neutral.
place ever. Just like I don't know how to stop it.
Just like
You
uptown?
built this out of Ace Hardware and Home Depot.
Yes, that was my intent. So you can go to Harbor Freight and get a $99 engine. It's 6 horse. This is only 1, so 6 is plenty.
Yeah.
And these are old V-belts. And
We're gonna hang out a lot more, Dave. This is your clutch. Look at the plywood clutch. You push the pedal, and it tightens the belt, and you go. And this is to stop the belt from popping off when you're...
no, it just keeps it pushed down so that it pushes away from this pulley very nicely, so there's no friction when it's not engaged. Otherwise, just the tendency of the belt to want to go round.
And then on the other side, that one, when you had that drive belt released, then you would use this to like drive something like that.
Yes, then you've got a clutch to start running your equipment with.
Overheated, I think.
Oh.
And it's on my
Start recording.
YouTube. It shows it running a clipper cleaner.
This is amazing.
Start building.
It's like that one that lands on the water, maybe.
So in Madras, there's the Erickson Museum. It's all old historic warplanes and stuff like that, and they're all in flying condition. They actually take them out and just fly them. So I guess this is over where they fly pretty regularly, and you see that all the time.
Yeah, they got a B-17 there. They're making a movie with it called A Higher Calling.
We went to that, took the family to that last summer, I believe, or earlier, maybe it was last summer. Went there, checked them all out, and it's basically all those old planes, and all of them are fully operational flying planes.
There's one that
Kind of like here, like there's all this old stuff, but like it starts up and runs. Like
yeah,
it all works. It's not just sitting here for display or just
so
to have.
lucky to have that over here in Madras. If you're a veteran, you get in free.
Oh, really?
So here's the little lightest tillage tractor that CCIWB built, and it's got a little.
Just keep in mind when he keeps saying CCWIB.
CCIWB.
That's him. So when he's saying that's who built it.
Yeah, that's the truth. These are all built by me, but I try to make them look like they were built by a company 100 years ago. And a lot of people fall for it.
I did.
No, he was hooked for a while.
Yeah. Well hooked.
So this is about the best runner of them all. It's a 2-stroke engine. It's a 4 horsepower Vaughan drag saw engine. And here's the water cooling, the gas tank, and uses Model T ignition. And it's a nice runner. It's on the YouTube. It shows a little girl driving it. She turns and looks at you and gets a great big old smile.
This is so cool.
You know the drag saw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it's off the back here.
It's a Maytag motor.
The cooling pins on this, so they're all staggered at.
Is that a half a horse? What's a Maytag motor?
Like half a horse or something.
Not much.
And this is just a 3-wheel. And it's got one of those little dishpan engines on it too.
I like how you use this old gear and welded it in here to be your. This is the clutch.
Yes. Don't look too close. There's some pretty ugly welding, but they hold. But it has a headlight so you can get your work done. Get her done. You need the garden tonight.
Yeah. This is incredible.
And the matriarch of all of them, the very first one that we know of that the company built, is this one.
That we know of.
Well, they say I have the only ones with these things. But this is the matriarch, a 3-horse heavy tillage, and it runs a threshing machine at our threshing bee. This runs the thresher.
Because you do a big display event and have everything out and go in. And
Yeah, we cut the grain with horses and a binder. Guy from Terrebonne, Mike McIntosh. I mean, and that's just phenomenal to watch horses pulling a binder, cutting the grain. 3 big, magnificent horses. And then we bring it in on a Model T flatbed, which sits over here.
of course it does.
That thing
the hardware store tractor that runs.
This is the bundle hauling truck.
Every corner we turn here is just more cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
So this, you haul everything with this, and then you run it through all your machines.
Yeah, and then we pitchfork it all into the machine, and it's hand fed. The machine's sitting right there.
Oh,
That's it. And it's, I don't know how old it is. It could have been made in 1890 for all I know, 1880. But it's a real early.
so where it says 1888.
Well,
on
I
that,
put that on there because that's when my grandpa was born. So I say it was made in 1888.
that works. There's one of those planes right there. It's just amazing.
Yeah, this is electric start. It's really decadent.
Oh, this is the high-end model.
Electric start. I bought this from Dennis Prince. So this is the Prince truck. I put a body on it, got it running, and put wheels on it.
So you had to put a body on it. You had to get it running. You had to put wheels on it.
Yeah.
What'd you buy?
Well, it had an engine, and it looked complete, and all I had to do was clean the cherry pits out of the water jacket, and I never did anything to the carburetor. Radiator's full of cherry pits, and it does not leak.
Here's a seat pad.
Yeah, when our kids were in high school, 2000, 2001.
I graduated in 03.
Really?
Yeah.
I graduated in 71. And I am 71.
David, what year did you graduate?
23.
23?
Yep. Class of
Oh yeah,
2023.
because I hired you after you graduated.
Yep.
I should have known that. What year are you born?
05.
You were born in the
2005.
2000s.
Yeah. Like pretty well into them.
You want to trade? I'll take your age and take mine. I want to go back with what I know now.
Oh, yeah. This machine.
Yeah, this has an eccentric also. It shakes what they call the shoe.
Yeah. So that whole tub swings back and
That
forth.
whole tub down there, and then this is the cylinder that does the cutting or the threshing,
I see that.
and it's what they call an overshot. And it's spiked tooth cylinder.
Wow.
And the whole grain, stems, everything goes in there and just gets shredded. And then this blows air up through it and shakes it and comes out pretty clean. Does a pretty good job.
For them to figure this all out back then and
Yeah.
create this is what is just mind-blowing to me. That way back then they figured this whole machine out in the process.
And the process doesn't change much. The
No, exactly.
New machines do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but for them to come up with that whole process, that because you gotta think when they came up with this back then, nothing else did that. So like
They
you're saying
didn't
like
do it by hand. They
yeah, but you're saying like how the new machines basically do the same thing as far as the mechanized process, but back then they came up with this whole mechanized process that still is what's used today. You know, the actual process.
And it has options.
Of course.
The front half clips to the back half here.
Oh, so it's
So
convertible
you could buy just the front.
and then different
Do the threshing
attachments.
rather than standing there with a broom handle and a club, and you had to beat the grain laying on a tarp or something to beat. And can you imagine doing that all day?
Yeah.
Beating the grain on the ground, and then you take and toss it in the air and let the wind blow away the chaff. What would you get? A bushel a day?
Yeah.
Well, this thing will honk out bushels. I mean, right? And we shove the bundles in there just as fast as it'll eat them.
I so want to see this thing run.
Well, it's a September 14 and 15 is our little
So
Central
when you get back
Oregon.
to Moab, then you come down here.
Yeah, because you guys are taking those wheeling in Moab. Okay.
So both things are cool.
I don't have time to work anymore. I just need to come play with you guys full time. Like, just shut the business down. We're done. We're
The
doing
little
this
wood
now.
tractor runs this.
The wood tractor.
Yep, it'll run this very nicely. And it does the same thing as this, which does the same thing as a clipper cleaner, but this is hand cranked. And this is what I use to clean my grain to plant in the threshing bee field, which is planted. It's about this tall now. It's just 2 miles from here is where the threshing bee is. Very scenic, you know.
Yeah. So you hand crank to process the seed,
Yeah,
to grow the field, to then do all that and process the wheat with the old machines.
Yes.
So full process you're doing.
Because all I have to clean is like, and I use the wheat we thrash. We try to keep off-type varieties out. It's even the historic grain variety. It's called Sonora, which is one of the very first grains grown in the U.S. And yeah, so to run this thing, you just do this.
Do you do that to make the seed, to plant the field, to grow the wheat, to run through your machines and process the old way with the tractors that you built?
Yes, sir, Bob.
That is, I don't even know. It's just, this is
So when
amazing.
the big apocalypse comes, I'll be prepared to
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm
You won't
good.
even know it happened.
Wind generators, I'm good to go.
Yeah. You'll still be driving your Tesla.
Yeah, that's the first thing. It won't go.
Yeah. And then,
Well, this is my sister's 25 Chrysler, which is, it's start up and go right now. It's a go-to car. And this is my niece's Model T, which she doesn't drive much. And this is another inbred. It has a 28 Chevrolet engine mated to a Model T transmission, and it works really well, and it wasn't hard to do. It did everything I could do by eye, and it fits the Model T crankcase. The crankshaft fits the Model T transmission. So this
well,
is
I'm sure back then there wasn't that many different options, so it was all probably pretty similar.
so this one is called a Shefford.
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 This is not for this car.
No.
This place is amazing. I really want to see that old machine run.
Now I need to show you the fermentation station.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the barge.
But you sit up here and ride and fill your sacks.
Oh, so someone's riding up here,
Yeah.
filling as it's going. So this one's doing the whole process like a combine,
Yeah.
full combine process.
Instead of a grain tank, you sack it directly.
Yeah, it slides off and lay your.
Oh, so then the sacks lay in the field like.
Yeah.
Well, then you go pick them up
Yeah.
like hay bales.
And so what I'm thinking is my brother has a little field of Sonora where he lives in Prineville, and we're going to take this over. It tows down the road really nice. Have two guys up here and a cooler of beer, and just have a shade and just enjoy the ride and sew sacks. And
So with this one, it doesn't cut, does it?
yeah, it's got a 3-foot cut.
Oh, so this cuts. Oh, wow. So this is a full combine.
Yep.
So this cuts.
Yep.
This is what sweeps it in.
Yep. And then there's drapes, and it's not in there right now. There's an upper drape.
Oh, a rabbit just ran out of here.
Yeah, one of our bunnies.
So then it would pull them up here and then process everything. Look at all the knives and.
So it has a cylinder too, and it's, oh, you can't see it. It's down in underneath that curved piece.
And then it processes and kicks the chaff out the back.
Yep.
And then you sit here and bag it, drop your sacks down, and they lay out in the field. And then you take the old truck and go pick them up.
Yeah, you take that Model T truck and drive along, and you just grab that sack, and someone on the truck stacks them.
This stuff is so cool.
And this is a binder. So this is not this one. This belongs to the guy that does our binding. He and I kind of are in on it. And he bought it, and I'm doing the work. I put a tongue on it. Right now it's fixed up so you can pull it around with a tractor. Otherwise this thing comes off of there and goes on that end. The horses are over there, and you pull that through the wheat.
Oh, I get it.
And it makes the bundles and kicks them out. And
It cuts off here, goes out like a conveyor,
Yeah.
and it goes up here. Between
So it would go over this
Yeah, and then it binds it on the other side.
through here.
Because yeah, there's a knotter right there.
Yeah. And that's where it kicks it out.
All ground driven.
Yeah, the wheels. I like your lug nuts.
yeah.
Now you know where it's at. If you ever need it, you know where it's at.
Yeah.
I only got about 20 of them. So here's a real early Model T. This is one of the real early ones. But this engine would fit right in Jim's 26 pickup.
You got an airplane in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to buy it?
I kind of do.
Really?
Because I've never bought an airplane before.
I learned to fly in this, and
Wow.
yeah. And flew it, and then I had a landing gear break, and it just hasn't gotten to the top.
Yeah, it's still broken.
Yeah, I got it repaired. I just haven't put it back on, and my wife says, you're not flying anymore. So it needs to go out of here.
This is like, oh yeah, it's all here. Yeah, by the way, I have absolutely no idea what I'm looking at here.
It is a 1939 Aronca Chief.
Aronca Chief?
Aronca Chief. So it's a pre-war plane. That's why it's got big, huge numbers on the wings. The end numbers they're like 2 feet tall.
And then what type
And
of
it
engine
has
is this?
been all rebuilt and restored and recovered, and
So these are air inlets?
yeah.
So what? So the air comes into the exhaust?
One's for carb heat and the other one is for cabin heat.
Hmm.
And
Oh, so this is the outer jacket on the exhaust.
yeah, that
I get it. So air comes in through this tube.
gets warmed up.
There's an outer jacket that it goes into around the exhaust to heat it up, and then it comes out here. This one looks like, yeah, this one goes into the carburetor.
Yeah, and you turn the carb heat on whenever you got the throttle pulled off, because that's when they like to get ice.
Hmm.
Got to always remember to do that, or they go and you get nervous.
Yeah, I would think so.
But I keep this thing opened up like this because birds want to build nests in there.
Oh, so you keep the cowling
With
off?
that hanging down, the birds won't build nests, but it's out of the sun, it's out of the rain, but it gets really dusty in here.
Yeah.
I figure, well, dust comes off.
Let's run the flaps. Wow. Aronca. This thing is cool.
If you place a 1/4 mile long, this will get off in a 1/4 mile nicely.
No.
How about between you and Grumpy? 1/4 mile?
Grumpy's place could probably land a plane.
Yeah, it's all you need is 1/4 mile. You're a little higher elevation.
Yeah.
This is
We got lots of rocks and juniper trees. David, you know how mad my wife would be if I came home and told her I bought an airplane?
An airplane that you still need to make work.
And the whole part about I don't know how to fly an airplane?
That too.
Yeah.
well, it is fun flying. It's every time I take off, I took off right out here. It's always a rush to lift off, and suddenly you're on rough ground, and then you lift off, and it's just smooth.
Aviation, like flying, is always something I've been very, very, very interested in. I always thought it'd be the coolest thing ever. I've never done anything with it.
It was on my bucket list, and it's now in the bucket.
Yeah, aviation's something I've always had. Like, this thing is just amazing. 40 pounds of cargo. Look at this. Yeah, this is what do we got going on here?
On the fermentation station.
Fermentation station.
You'll see.
David, you want to run and grab another one of those batteries?
Yeah, is it in the car?
Yeah, in that backpack.
You ready?
Open for business.
No way.
I'm part owner in this, by the way.
Yeah, Jim owns this sheet metal. This sheet metal. So this is a 28 Chevy truck, and my son-in-law's from the UK, New Zealand, and he really likes his beer. We-
Both sides fold out.
Does that side fold out too?
Yep.
yeah.
This is the coolest. I keep saying this. This is the coolest thing ever. And so is that and that and that over there and the airplane that's randomly sitting here. Like,
So if you
The
have
wooden
a party
tractor?
at your place, let me know and I'll bring this, and you can serve your pop or coffee or whatever you want out of here.
and more Sharpie instructions.
Oh yeah.
Just runs and drives.
Yeah, get up in there. It's fully adjustable seat.
Yeah. Fully adjustable. Yeah, I can fit in here.
Let's see if it'll start.
Oh, there's no way.
Oh, yeah.
So ignition, choke, pull choke, and hit that starter button right there. And it's got a gas pedal over here.
Okay.
Okay, pull it further.
Oh.
Maybe I got the gas shut off. Let me check.
Probably.
Battery's good.
Yeah.
Care to fiddle around? You were right, Jim. I like this place, and I could spend all day here. Gas is off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give her a bit to fill up the carburetor.
Oh, it's got to fill that bowl.
Yeah.
You got all the decorations in here. There's a whole like cockpit thing back there.
Well, there's something here for everybody. Motorcycle, super rat, Hodaka, so motorcycle people, aviation people, bicycle people, old farming scene, a Samson Sid grip, people play music, a fiddle.
No Model T stuff. Oh, yeah, license.
Old license plates up there.
There's your Model T stuff.
Yeah, kind of.
What is that?
Probably at a Olsen building.
Oh,
or
Hudson, 8-cylinder Hudson maybe, emblem.
Hey, there's a truck there.
Yeah. It's lower than I thought.
Yeah,
something. Don't worry, I heard that a couple times myself.
we hang stuff from these so people see them.
Alright.
Like that. Okay, choke off. All the way. There you go. It's like uptown.
That started so fast and just is running so smooth, so quick.
And then it's got a horn over there. See that big black ball?
Oh! Of course it does. And this side opens too.
And you can adjust how much the generator puts out. See that knob? Well, that adjusts the field strength on the generator.
Oh, no.
Because it's a 6-volt generator. I put a 12-volt battery in there, so the poor thing was charging like 35 amps. That was too much.
Yeah.
So I
This is your
fixed it
regulator?
so you can crank it down and put out more of a reasonable charge. And then altimeter, no, airspeed indicator.
Airspeed?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
You turn gas on. D2?
Yeah, probably should. It's got lights, and they're up. They're LEDs,
I see, yeah,
strip
up
lights.
in the top there.
So they reflect light down. Nobody has a light directly in their eyes.
It's all up and then like lights up this whole
and then
area.
there's multicolored ones under here. So at a party, you got all these blue, green, red things changing down here, and it's
Ready to go.
there you go. Well, if you liked beer, I'd say have that.
This is so cool. I've been to a lot of cool places and a lot of different properties that have like cool stuff on them. You win.
Oh, that is an honor to hear. Thank you.
You win. Like this is, there's just so much. And like the fact that it works, like this whole thing, you might see, oh, you won't see something like this anywhere. Like there's nothing like this out there. But you see some old vehicle or some old tractor, like antique tractor like those over there sitting there. It's like, yeah, they're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
They start up and they work and they run and you use them. And then you just got an airplane here. Out of the blue. So you just taxi out and take off in your field?
Yes. 2,000 foot long. If you just take off in the field, you don't need any permits. If you have an airstrip, a whole different deal.
So it's not an airstrip, it's just a field?
No, it just, I mow a part of the field and that points into the normal winds every,
He had one by my house too.
yeah.
You have an airplane too, just sitting?
No, he had an airstrip. I mean, he had a pasture that's mowed off.
Ah, careful.
You know.
That was my practice when I was soloing.
So you fly to his house?
Yeah, only.
Hey, you live right down the street.
But I had a,
Did you even get out of ground effect before you had to land at his place?
Yeah.
But it would land in short distances. take off in pretty short distances for 50 horsepower.
That's all that thing is?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm helping.
Push that small.
Look at the
So it's
mirror
all-
and the windows.
See, these are old cupboard doors out of my daughter's kitchen. And they had thin plywood. Well, I just cut the plywood out because these are oak and make nice windows. In fact, the bar's cupboard doors. So that's how this thing came together. Is just, and this is the back end of a hot tub gazebo. It was headed to the dump. I said, "Hey, where are you going with that? I like it." Well, you want
the
it?
tailgate folds down.
Oh yeah, let's get cheers.
Yeah, this is for if you got a burger feed going. This is for condiments and stuff. And,
No. So that's where you set up.
yeah, you have all your condiments here, and you can open up and serve burgers from inside on the kitchen.
Oh, these open too.
Yeah, those will open too. But it gives it an elegant look and old. So
Yeah, no, it looks old for sure. You got that going. Even the beams of your building here, old laminated.
yeah, they were out of a bank from Lake Oswego, and they were nice and long, so you could get an airplane back in here.
This is a party bar. It's been loaded with people, women. we have parties. David bring it over. We went loaded up and off down the canyon we went. And
Yeah,
I feel like your parties are very different than any I've ever been to.
Oh, I don't know.
I know.
We have a lot of fun.
part of the party routine is everyone load up in old cars and this, and we go down this old grade at about 4 miles an hour because everybody's tipping them. And what's nice is the driver up there can have them handed to him, and he can hand the empties back, and you're part
You
of
have
the
to avoid
party.
this part.
You're not up in a cab. You're
Off-road.
Yeah, you're with everybody.
Off-road.
Yeah, private road.
Private property.
Oh yeah, yep. And you're just creeping along nice and slow because you are not in a hurry.
And then Dave slept in here. This all folds up and
Yeah, this will come up as a bed.
this is all rolled out.
Oh, so yeah. So this all comes down. This folds up as your bed, and this is your camper too.
Yeah, just barely, but I've done it. Yeah, I got this chassis running, and I needed something to sit on, and that's how this body got made. Well, I need something up here I
I
can
need
sit
something
on.
to sit on.
That got made, and then this got added, and then this got added.
I said earlier that the video when I came out and got you guys out there is one of the longest videos ever made. This is probably gonna beat that. Set the new record.
You would divide it in half.
No, we ain't doing that. We're sitting down and we're enjoying a video. Better have time before you do.
You got it out
Yeah,
to
sit
the
on the walls.
boneyard, yeah.
Let's just pull. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's the boneyard, the non-running stuff.
Oh yeah, the boneyard. Boneyards are fun.
So far, everything has been operational stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Apart from the plane.
We have a bunch of them.
No, they said the plane runs. It's the landing
Yeah.
that's the problem. As long as you don't land, it's not an issue. And here's this state-of-the-art piece of equipment.
Yeah, 1960s.
That's an international too.
Yep.
Well, bended like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you would. Go to 406 and a 503.
503.
Yeah, I know, but instead of his 406, it'd be a 503.
403.
It's got so much. That one's growing a tree.
Yeah, to move it, I had to cut.
Look back there. Gotta cut the tree out to get
Oh.
it out of there.
And
Tree
there's
go
some,
through it.
there's some in this front wheel over here too.
Is that Ed?
Yeah, it came from Ed.
Yeah.
The guy that's been a friend of mine since we were 5 years old.
Just how they made this stuff back then.
Yep. I love castings. Just the look of them and the part number that's in with them and the patina. And some pretty intricate castings back in those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, those are the spikes. Now that's an undershot spike 2-cylinder. The stuff goes underneath.
It's shot out of there. Run through it.
And this is a Wood Brothers. And this bigger one is a McCormick Deering. And that little wood one in the shed, that's an Ellis.
Handmade chain.
Wow, it's
Look.
cool.
We rolled all these pieces. Look at this is one piece that wraps around and hooks that one.
Yes.
And this one comes through and it's one piece. So they cut out the center and then rolled it around the next one.
Well, you can slip them apart sideways.
Oh, so you turn it and then you slide them.
That's how you add in links or take links
Oh,
out
yeah,
as it
so you would-
wears. You put it
But yeah,
on a vise.
this rolled part is the centerpiece that's cut out here to make the link.
Yes. I call it flat chain. They make it nowadays. You can still get it.
You know it's all square nuts.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's
a little IHC emblem right there. McCormick International.
and what there's not here is welds.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing
I don't think there's any welds.
welds.
There's one up there. It's been added probably.
Yeah, this is added later, but as far as like the construction of it, nothing's welded. It's all bolted together or cast in or
Rivets, a lot of rivets.
yeah, nothing's welded. We went and recovered an old mine cart a while back, like last month ago. The same, it's all put together by rivets. There's no welds on the whole. It's
I
like
saw that.
Yeah, the ore cart down there.
Yeah.
There's not a weld on the thing. It's all rivets because there's no welding. So I'll show you the picture. I got to go to Carol Shelby's personal garage back before he died, and off in one of the his garage is a big warehouse with multiple rooms in it, and one of the rooms was all of the molds for all of the Shelby body panels that were ever made.
Well, be.
And you all know how valuable that room is. All the original molds for all the Shelby body panels, so the different models over the year. And it reminds me of looking at this, because they're laid out like this, like in rows and stuff, and it's the different. I'll show you that picture, but it reminds me of like this right here. If this was Shelby body parts instead,
One nice thing about this country is, yeah, it's laying on the ground,
but nothing rusts.
it doesn't rust.
Same at my house. I've got metal sitting on my shop that's been sitting there unpainted, cut off, set there, and there's no rust on it.
The only
for
thing
years.
that damages this is if the neighbor's cows get out and go across it. They really,
Yeah, I do.
they
like
add a
nothing
few
rusts.
dents.
Hey, you just come out and find.
Well, I got these laid
So
out.
you need a new
This is a complete car right here. It's a
radiator
touring car.
surround. You'll straighten that out and
Yeah, it'll straighten out, yep.
get the Ford emblem.
But here's the cowl,
So there's a whole
seat,
car in a line right here.
doors, back seats. They're all touring cars. And they're the sheet metal for a car. That's not one there, but there's one there, and one there, and one there, and one here, and one here. There's about 8 of them out here.
Yeah, there's all these sheet metal. Cowling. There's so much stuff running around at your feet when you walk around this place too. There's rabbits, quail, I don't know what just ran past me right now, but like that little dog.
It just goes after balls, not animals. Oh, that little stomp dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's full-blooded with papers. What's going on here? Oh, those are, they cut pieces of metal out of these and use them, and this is what's left over.
CNC machine.
Yeah,
And I
ironic it
build
is
gates out of them. Gates, and in fact, we'll drive by some of them that I put together. They make neat-looking gates. And laying like this, I can get them all over. And
another airplane.
Yeah, those ones that they use Model C and Model A engines in them. Were they homemade people, Paul, or did they have a kit?
oh no, you got to build from scratch. They're relatively easy to build, I guess. And they fly very well with the Model A engine.
Yeah.
Like a legit one that will fly.
Well, it could.
Like not right now, but
Yeah, and they had a Model T engine or a Model A engine up front. Direct drive.
2 seats, or 2-holer they call it.
so the engine will bolt on up here. This is a plane I could probably afford. I don't know about your other one, but and this would probably be the safe one for me to buy because
Well,
I'd never be able to fly this one.
That other one is by far the safest, best one of all. Once you got some time in, a guy could fly one of these. This only has 27-foot wingspan. That's got 36.
Well, see, this one I would never make it to a flying plane. That's why it'd be so safe.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was getting at.
No finish.
Yeah, it'd be like this.
But a lot of people learn to fly in these. They were pretty good planes.
Like the auto parts store for old vehicles,
Well,
but your
when you
stuff's
get-
actually in stock.
When you get your Model T or decide to build one, you'll have,
Yeah, I know where to come.
yeah, Jim and I and Prince, everybody's got
Pile.
stuff. And to get another, not an old fogey, but a young fogey.
I'm a midway fogey.
And the T's. would
That's
be-
the young fogey. I'm midway.
Well, we'll get both you guys going in Model Ts.
Yeah, you're selling your Explorer.
Yeah.
Get Model T,
Yeah, drive that back up to
Yeah.
over the mountains.
They drove across the country. You can drive
That's
yours
true.
up the hill.
It takes all day.
Just takes a while. Take your sleeping bag and a tent.
A 2-hole outhouse?
Yeah, take a look inside. But that's the oldest building on the agency planes. Because that was my great-grandmother's outhouse for her homestead. And I gotta fix the roof and make it usable again.
Any outhouse is usable if you're desperate enough.
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride. So that's that CNC machine leftovers
Yeah.
that you made gates out of. Another one.
Rock cribs and everything. You don't know what the design's going to be, and I guess that's what's neat about it. So there's a rock corral over there. That was a homesteader's
Oh, yeah.
small corral.
And the old rock fence lines.
And this was the only way you could get down to the river from
That's a long way down.
miles and miles this way and miles and miles that way.
How far down is that?
I don't know.
It
Twice
just-
as far as half.
yeah, correct. What if you miss the shift?
Try again. In fact, we call this hoodoo draw because see those rock things up on the rim?
Yeah.
Well, we call them hoodoos, but legend has it that those were built and the
Stop it.
ancients. Once you built one of those, the ancients got to occupy it and once again look out across their beautiful lands.
This is incredible.
And so they were built along the river like that. And if one of them gets knocked over for whatever reason, well, that ancient needs to go back to the head of the line for the next one that gets built. And that's only fair, you know? It's just legend.
Just legend.
This is really tired, you can tell the way it sounds.
Wow, look at the green fields out there. Like,
Yeah, so that's all Restomod.
what's that there?
Needle valve.
Needle valve
Yeah.
for the carburetor.
Yep. On a Model A, you close it. You can open it when it's cold, which you can make sure, but when you're running, you close it. If you're on a Model T, you're on a one-quarter turn open. If you close it, it dies.
Okay.
The only carburetor I know of is Model A that does that. And for the longest time, I didn't know, and I drive this 1.25 turns open. And I always wondered why I only got 5 miles a gallon.
Because you're pouring the
was
fuel
so,
to it.
It ran fine, but it just drank gas like crazy. Finally, this old guy, I'm not an old guy.
I was gonna say, you just call someone an old guy?
I call a guy an old guy now. He said, oh, you run it clear closed. You only open it just when you're cold. My golly, it runs closed.
How long has your family been here
Since
on this farming out here?
my great-granddad homesteaded down here and he filed in 1889 or something like that. And my great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother up on top, and it's the place I'm on, was homesteaded in 03.
1903.
Yes.
Not 03 like 2003.
No.
1903. Got it.
But in Prineville, my great-granddad is buried. He died in 1874. And his grave site's in the old cemetery at Prineville. And he was a wheelwright. So back in the day, that was this kind of stuff before this was available. He worked on wagon wheels.
Wagon rut over there. Some guy wagon ruts. Wheels sliding down out of the road.
Really?
Yeah.
David, how's your day at work going?
Great. It'll do.
Yeah.
It'll do.
This is amazing.
Yeah, but right in our backyard, it's a nice weather.
Yeah, this place is incredible.
Well, it's a nice day. Look, you see the mountains really clear.
It's a contrasty day. Good contrast. Sometimes it just isn't.
No, today's a good day.
Cascadia Fault really shook this country, and all this ash did what they call liquefaction, and it just flowed like water. And as soon as it came to a stop, it solidified again because it had all that heavy lava on top and pushed it down. But you can see some of the rims, see all this jumbled up lava.
Yep.
Well, that used to be nice rim rock up there, and it rode all the way down here, and it's still in one place, but it's not rim shape. That's my theory. And this slide and the slide over there came together and dammed up Campbell Creek, backed it way up, and I think the river got dammed up for however long until it finally washed through again. So this dam hit kind of a lake back in here one time. But it's ash, so I'm guessing it probably eroded away fairly quickly. Once the water got deep enough to start cutting, it went ahead and cut pretty fast.
after the railroad came through, they blasted all this and hauled it all out, and then the railroad went across there, and there was a trestle that went across. And I'll show you a couple spots up there where the trestle went through. A little history lesson for you.
Oh, I've been getting a history lesson the whole way here.
Well, the railroad 1910 came through Madras. They had two of them fighting over who's going to get here first. This is one of the cuts they made, all with blasting and by hand. And there's tons of these all along the way.
It's all rock, solid rock.
Oh yeah, and we'll stop up here. You'll look at another one that it's blocked off, but you can see exactly how they did it.
Incredible. I've said that word a lot today.
Yeah. I gave a talk on the railroad.
That's crazy to think like by hand. I had to dig a trench to put the new automatic gate opener wire under my driveway. 16 feet. How far down? It was a lot. So that cut came here, now we're following what the railroad built.
Yeah. So you see here, all I had to do is cut through ash.
Yeah, it's all volcanic ash.
Yeah. And there's that rim. It starts right there, and there's no big slides. And this rim goes all the way around.
I didn't even know this place existed down here.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Family stayed here one time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're getting lunch at the lake.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting to do today, but I'm okay with that.
When we were kids, we used to hike down here and get a burger.
From your place?
From where I live.
We've been driving for 45 minutes to get here.
All the way back up across the flats to our house. And it was like
You're
nothing.
way cooler than we are.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, I did not know this whole place existed. It is really cool down here. Lunch was good, and I cannot thank the two of you enough for for today. Like showing me all your stuff, and like then we got to go on a little tour around, like the history of the road stuff. Like you guys totally made my day.
well, you made ours.
Yeah.
Nope, other way around. So.
Made my year.
Really? Well, that's not much of a year. Okay.
We will be doing more stuff with the T-Bums, absolutely for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again. It was a great day.